Hi, welcome to Good Enough Painting. Today we're working on the Raven Clan from Blood Rage in a beginner-friendly method that will have your minis table ready in no time. Let's get to it. First things first, let's prime the model. We do this so paint can stick easier to the model and it helps protect from chipping over time. Use quick bursts in a deliberate direction to get a nice even coat. First color up, royal blue. Here I'm just showing you what a little bit of water can do to help your paints flow. We will be painting all the cloaks and tunics in this color. The leader I wanted to be slightly different, and I just picked out the cloak and the bit of fabric hanging from his belt buckle. Alright, so next we're going to be mixing colors. To stick with the theme of being beginner friendly, we will only be using one set of paint. I'll link all the materials I used in the notes below. So I'm going to be mixing a dark gray brown, using black and cork brown. Mix until you get a result that looks something like this. We will be using this color on the leader's tunic and armor. The model with the spear and the axes vest, pants, armor, and shield. And then paint the same thing for the last model. Alright, and now while that black's still wet, you're going to want to paint the crows on this guy's shoulder, the plumes on all the helmets, and then the feathers on the leader's staff. Now, you could save yourself a lot of time and just go out and buy a brown. This is actually what I suggest. Mixing the brown and letting it dry out and then trying to remix the same color is super annoying. So if you want to save yourself some hassle, I suggest buying a brown. Alright, well, since I'm stubborn, I'm going to be using dark vermilion and light green to make my brown. Paint the scabbard, wood elements, boots, and straps for the bracers in this color. I also painted all the shields in a different design in this color, being careful to make straight lines. If you need help with this, follow the pattern of the separate wood planks for making straight lines like I did here. And here I'm just coming in with the blue to complete these patterns. Next color up is the flesh tone. I personally, again, would go for an upgrade for this, but trying to stick with the beginner-friendly using all one paint set, I'm going to be using medium flesh tone from the set. Only reason why I say that is because this one comes out just a little bit too orange for my taste. Just be slow and careful. Small brush strokes are your friend. Next, we're going to be mixing up a lighter shade of brown and painting up all the straps and fur in this color. Next, we're going to be adding a small brush load of black into a dab of white to make a nice light gray color. We're going to be painting this model's hair with this color. Don't worry about it if it looks too white. It will dull down in the wash step. Now for the hair of the other two. I'm using pure cork brown for this. Get a steady hand position and nick at the beard with little strokes at a time. And while you have this cork brown out, get all their horns that they have on each one of their belts. Now take a medium flat brush, make sure it's dry, and now going back to that gray you just mixed up, get a load on the brush. Wipe away all the excess until there's barely anything left. This is what's called a dry brush. You want to brush this onto the hair, including the plumes, the armor, and the crows on the shoulders of this model. Don't go crazy with the dry brush. It can get out of hand pretty quick. Now for bringing a red tint to all the skin using a flesh wash. This is used to bring a variation of tones to the skin by making the recesses a darker hue, otherwise known as contrast. This is an optional step if you don't have the particular wash. You can just use black wash for this instead. Now for the metallics. I'm using silver, which is by far the brightest metallic I've ever worked with, and then also bronze. I'm using the silver for all the scale mail, weapon heads, pommel and cross guards, scabbard decorations, and the buckles. And I'll be using bronze for all the larger buckles and the raven head on top of the leader's staff. Now's a really good time to tidy up any mistakes we have made along the way. It will be a lot harder to fix mistakes after the next step, which would be the wash step. So I'm going for a more antique look on my models. If you don't like the way that they look, you can instead use Knoll Oil from Citadel. It's just the Vallejo brand has a certain way of drawing that I kind of like more on my board game models. Alright. I'm using 5 drops of black wash and then 2 drops of an umber wash, which is just a dark brown. You're going to want to paint this literally all over the model with special care around the face. Wick up the majority of the wash from the face with a damp brush, leaving behind a light coat just in the recesses. You don't want to obscure any face details. Alright, that wraps it up. Oh, I forgot. That's better. And I didn't want to cut away without showing you how to paint the base. Just make sure the brush lays flat before approaching the foot and just inch up to it. That way you won't hit any of the details. Thanks for painting with me today. This was quite the challenge. And in the future, I think I'll change the way that I film these batch paints. 9 models is a whole lot to get done and film and cut all at the same time. If you enjoyed the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And with that out of the way, remember, you don't have to be perfect, just good enough. See you next time.